And welcome back to the Credit Authority. I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and today I have Lisa Albinowski in studio with me, who is a fantastic Long Island realtor. How are you?
I'm terrific.
We've had you on the show before. I love your wisdom. You've been in the industry for so long, so let's just jump right into it. Market on Long Island is insane. Before you got into the studio today, we had some other industry professionals here as well. What is your biggest challenge right now, and how are you dealing with it?
So it's funny, I was talking to somebody else in the studio as we were passing about this, and the biggest challenge is it's still a shortage of inventory, and we have multiple buyers who are pining for the same houses, and sellers are just insane in the sense of what they want, what they expect based upon what's happened in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So they want you to price their houses crazy, and buyers are having fallout after they make their offers.
Exactly what one of my guests just said. Comes from the mortgage industry, and he said one of his biggest challenges is that the client finally gets an accepted offer, and then the reality sets in what his money is buying, and then they're backing out.
Yes. So, they're overbidding. They're on these very high-priced houses. I don't care what price point you're in, whether it's, a $400,000 house or a $900,000 house, it's the same. And then they're having second thoughts because they have people in their ear saying, you paid what, and this, and then they have the inspection. They feel like it's a negotiating tool. And they're backing out. And then the seller looks at you like, okay, now what? I'm ready to pack.
Yeah.
So it's just very challenging. I see a little correction happening.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that, we go through next year with this little correction in the sense of not overinflating the prices, and then maybe things will stick more.
What are you seeing in reference to the overbidding? Now somebody overbids, we know the house isn't going to appraise, it's going to contract, and then the realization sets in where somebody goes, am I really going to spend more than the appraised value for this house? What are you seeing from your side to help make sure that that deal continues and doesn't die on the vine because of the appraisal?
Great questions. This is exactly what I've been dealing with this whole year, and through COVID. So I'm finding the buyers that I'm working with I am making sure that they are very liquid with extra cash. I ask for proof of funds so that when I have to present them to a seller, if I'm not on the listing side of things,
Sure.
that I know that they do have the funds. I make sure that I show them comparables in the area of what the list price was and what it closed for, to show them they're not alone in this, to make their confidence okay. And in the contract, we're putting in stipulations that if the home appraises for this amount or this amount, they are willing to pay X amount over. And we are actually working with the attorneys so deeply these days to structure these contracts so that there's different percentages or dollar amounts based upon the appraisals.
So it's like different thresholds.
Yes.
For what they, if A, then B.
Yes. I put a contract together. I'm in a process now. I just had an appraisal done that the list price of the house was $400.
Is that even a thing on Long Island?
$399.99. It is, well, it's not really a thing, okay? But it went for $479. And before we accepted this offer, I was on the listing side, we made sure that all of these ducks were in a row because I was concerned about fallout. And in the contract, we put the other realtor and I worked for about 1 hour formulating different processes, and then talk to both seller and buyer about how we would formulate the contract.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Now, I know that you also deal with a lot of real estate investors on Long Island. I almost want to say, how's that going for you? But how's that going?
Not so good. And so, with these prices, investors can't pay this because then they don't have then what's going to happen when they want to fix up and improve? Mm-hmm. They won't be able to sell it. So the investor market although there are many out there,
Yeah.
it's really tough. I'm working with one investor last night. I was on an inspection, but he's going to do it as a rental. So the fix and flip investors are not having success right now in abundance. But if you want to do an investment with a rental, it depends on the numbers. I mean, you can find them few and far between, but they're out there.
When you are working with a real estate investor, do they rely on you to run also the rental comps so that they understand whether or not there's a margin? And
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
And they do, and I did, and this one worked.
Are you finding that the investors are rolling out of one project and they're forced into having to now take these rentals because they may have flipped, put money into a 1031, and now, pressure, it's on the line.
Yes.
And do you feel that they're making good decisions or rash decisions?
Both. They're trying to make the best decision they can, but there are several that myself and my associate worked with that had to buy something because of the 1031 exchange. And do I think it was overpriced? 100%. But what are you going to do? Everything's overpriced.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
I know you also specialize in working with the seniors. Tell me what we're seeing in that senior market for the next generation and the people that are transitioning right now.
So I'm in the process right now of waiting for a closing date for one of my seniors. She's 91, maybe I think she just turned 92. She's been in the house 60 years, right? So that whole process never changes whether we have COVID or not. They see the prices, and if they don't, they have family members who do. And they expect to get market value even if their homes are not up to par. So it's a big challenge to educate them on why a home went for this amount of money if theirs might not be worthy of it. And you have to dig down and show them the photos and the pictures. Now the buyers, on the other hand, are still in overbid mode. Okay, even though there might not be as many upgrades, but then there's fallout. So you really have to be careful.
So in other words, if you're walking into a senior's home, you're not recommending that they do a renovation before putting the house on the market. You're just rather say, let me just show you what the cost to cure and bring your home up to speed would be, and we're going to price it. And then the next person who comes along really might just get a better deal.
Correct.
Finally.
Well, at least a better deal than something that was totally renovated. Yes.
Different opportunity.
Yes.
How do you think your buyers and sellers are reacting right now to the increase in interest rates?
I don't think that they're really paying attention. The sellers don't care. Okay, it doesn't affect them. They feel that, they have gold and they want the price. And the buyers, the interest rates have fluctuated so much. They come up, they come down, they stay. They think that they're really uncertain. So I don't think it's affecting them right now. I think that once they really leap, like over the next couple of years, then I think it will affect them. Then the prices will totally adjust. Because it's all about the monthly payment for them.
Yeah, and I know just for the sake of time, I want to dive into a couple of more quick questions. So we know that the Long Island market is insane, but we also have a lot of people that are first-time home buyers. How are you working with first-time home buyers that don't have the financial capability of putting large lump sums down? And what are you doing, even as a listing agent? You're positioned with somebody with 20% down or a beautiful young family with 3% down. Talk to me about that.
It's really tough, Rhonda. Really, really tough. And my heart really breaks for them because I'm a very compassionate, hands-on realtor that really loves to work with first-time home buyers. I've had success over the last couple of years, but again, these first-time home buyers who don't have down payment money are not going to win right now. The seller is going to take somebody who's got more skin in the game because they feel stronger about that candidate of closing.
So at the end of the day, it's really not about you making that decision. It's really about the homeowner making the decision.
Yes, I'm presenting everyone because I have to, and then it's really about them and their comfort level of who's going to get to the finish line and close.
I understand. Well, those are my questions for you today, my dear. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. Again, I am with Lisa Albinowski, Coldwell Banker, right here in Ronkonkoma, New York. If you are looking to buy or sell or just pick her brain about the housing market, how do they reach you?
631-793-7329, or my name, Lisa Albinowski, at cbamhomes.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for our next guest.
Thank you.